Today we're going over a full guide to caring for your Fiddle Leaf Fig. Hey guys, it's Olivia from Life of Roselle. Welcome back to my channel. I know there's been a lot of questions about how to care for the Fiddle Leaf Figs because they can be kind of drama queens and a little bit tricky to take care of if they're not placed in the right situation. So with that, I'm just going to give you guys a few tips and tricks where they should be placed in your home, and let's get right into the video. So the actual name of these plants is Ficus Lyratas, but they are commonly known as Fiddle Leaf Figs. They are from Western Africa in the rainforest where it's more dense in the rainforest and a lot of humidity. So that's what their general requirement is gonna be set around. So we're gonna go through light, water, humidity, all of that stuff, and we'll have timestamps over to the side of me and also in the description down below. So let's just get right into light. So for light, the Fiddle Leaf Figs like a few hours of direct sunlight a day, and then for about 6 hours they like filtered or indirect light. The more light that the fiddle has, it will grow better and thrive a lot more. I will say that if you have it where the sun is directly hitting it like this one has, it'll stay more bushy, but if you put it like underneath a big window where there's still a bit of space between the window and where light is hitting and the tree, it'll reach for the light, so it'll be more of a tree shape and will try to expand up and more vertically than just stay bushy. So depending on the way that you want your Fiddle Leaf Fig to look, pay attention to the light source and how it's going to be hitting the tree. So in my experience, it is better to underwater these plants because they do have very shallow root systems. So if you keep water in the pot that it's in, it will cause root rot, which is the biggest killer of this plant. I try to water my fiddle about once a week, maybe longer if it's been raining, there's more humidity, or if it's just not been as sunny, I'll adjust that way. Try to get your Fiddle Leaf Fig on a watering schedule so that it doesn't cause it to be chance of it having root rot. And also if it's not on a regular watering schedule, there will cause a little bit of redness and like veiny, but it'll start happening to the very top of your leaves and you'll notice it, and it's just not a very pretty look. All right, on to temperature. Really short and sweet. It does grow in a rainforest, so it likes to be warmer. So try to keep your temperature around 60 to 95 degrees if possible. Humidity is the biggest thing with this plant. Like, I cannot tell you how many times somebody will come into our shop and be like, oh, my Fiddle Leaf Fig is dying. I just need to get a new one. And I'm like, okay, what's going on with it? And they'll be like, oh, well, the leaves are turning brown. I'm like, you're not killing it, you just need to put more humidity into your house so that the browning will go away. So for the humidity range, it should stay about 45 to 60. You want it more closer to 60 if you can help it. And there's also ways you can increase the humidity in your house. You can buy a humidifier, you can make a little pebble tray, which I'm gonna make a video about soon. You can put little bowls or cover pots of water around your plant so that way when the water evaporates, it increases the humidity around that plant. That'll help so much with the Ficus Lyratas. For fertilizing, they're like a 3-1-2 ratio, so it's just 3 parts nitrogen, 1 part phosphorus, and it's 2 parts potassium. I typically do a worm casting, just top dressing. That way it's a slow release fertilizer, and I'm way too scared to potentially burn the leaves on my Fiddle Leaf Fig, so I just think that that's a safer way to fertilize my plants. But it's up to you guys, however you guys like to fertilize. There's no right or wrong way really, but if you are going to do the typical chemical fertilizer, make sure that before you really start fertilizing, water it first very thoroughly, and then you water it again with the fertilizer just to make sure that you don't burn the leaves on your Fiddle Leaf Fig. On to propagating. So there are a few different ways you can propagate the Fiddle Leaf Fig. Typically, and the most common way to propagate it is to root divide. So typically when you purchase your Fiddle Leaf Fig, it'll come with 2 or 3 stems in there, so you can just basically root divide all this however you want to. So you can have 2 plants, 3 plants, 1 plant, however you want to keep it. That's the easiest way to propagate these. Another way to propagate it is to find an internode on the stem of the tree and then take about 6 inches and cut it, and then just put it in potting soil, cover it with a bag so that way humidity and it stays warm in the pot, and just let it grow roots that way. All right, on to pinching and notching. So to pinch it, you'll just take off this little top part of this little bud on the top of the leaf, and you'll just twist it until you see the sap coming out. Be really careful when you do this because the sap is very irritating to your skin, so it will cause redness and stuff like that. So wear gloves. But if you'll just pinch it at the top, it'll promote new growth on the top of the leaves, and that way you'll have a more fuller look on the top rather than the bottom, which is typically the look people are going for with the Fiddle Leaf Figs. So that was called radically pinching. To notch it, you'll find a node and then you'll just cut into it a little bit until you see sap coming out, and that will just cause more branches to form, and then you'll have a more tree-shaped fiddle leaf instead of a bush like this. So this part I'm going to call troubleshooting. When you first bring your Fiddle Leaf Fig home, it's expected for it to drop a few leaves at the bottom of it because it's just adapting to its new home and to your environment that you have. Don't be worried if a few leaves start to fall off. Only be worried if like majority of them fall off, and then you just need to know to adjust your settings or put it where there's more sun, maybe water a little bit more, maybe water it less. Just see how you're treating your plant and see what adjustments you can make. Okay, so the biggest tip that I can give you guys for the Fiddle Leaf Fig is to make sure you're wiping down the leaves. I typically do a damp cloth, and sometimes I'll spray neem oil on it just if I notice a few flies flying around, and you just want to wipe off the leaves, and that way it can soak up some more energy from the sun and stay pretty and shiny and grow a lot healthier. I hope this was all very helpful for you guys. Let me know if it was down in the comments below, or if you have any issues going on with your Fiddle Leaf Fig. Let me know if it's yellowing, if it's browning, and hopefully this video can help you solve those issues. Like this video, comment, subscribe, hit the little bell notification so that you always know when we post. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Life of Roselle. With that, have a good day, have a good night, have a good rest of your week, and we'll see you guys soon. Peace.